So I think without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker today. The topic today is actually on the evidence, facts, and difference between questions of facts and law in tax dispute made. So, and we are very delighted to invite Mr. Stefano Mariani, yes, who is a barrister in law in UK and also a solicitor advocate in Hong Kong. And if you are aware in the court, the tax cases these few years, you will know that Mr. Mariani has won quite a number of cases against the revenue. So we are very delighted to have him with us to explain this topic to us. So without further ado, I will hand over the time to him.
Yes, thank you very much, Philip. So the purpose of this seminar, and I appreciate it really has a fantastically boring title. I promise I'll do my best to make sure it's not boring in practice. The reason why the title sounds boring is because it sounds technical. And what I don't want this to be is I don't want this to be a wholly technical session. I'd like it to be interactive to a degree. The purpose of this is to facilitate the reading, especially by accountants, but generally by anyone who's interested, of tax decisions. And when we talk about questions of fact and questions of law and evidence, these are questions which are very interesting, usually for lawyers, and more specifically for litigators, and they aren't terribly interesting to anyone else. However, understanding these concepts will go a long way to improving your own, what you get out of reading tax cases. I think it's very, very important for all practitioners to read tax cases. And in many ways, it's critical for accountants to be aware of tax cases, because more so than ever, accountants are called upon to express their views on complex areas of tax law. And so having an understanding of these concepts, which are usually regarded as purely legal concepts, will go a long way to enable you to add value both to your own practice and to your own professional development when you do read these tax cases, and you can reflect both from your own perspective as an accounting professional and seeing things for a moment from a lawyer's perspective and how we understand evidence, facts, and questions of law. So this is the outline of today's seminar, and this is meant to be a brief introduction. That some of the questions engaged by this are really rather complicated, and lawyers themselves often, even very, very senior lawyers, often don't know the answer. And I might add that many judges sometimes seem to be confused as to what a question of fact is and what a question of law is. So no one gets it right 100% of the time. Everyone makes mistakes, and there are some genuinely grey areas where further inquiry is required. However, this particular session is purely to give an overview. And if anyone has questions, of course, please drop them into the chat box and I'll answer them either in real time or at the end of the session, depending on how the alert comes up.